Let's do the read it section. From Earth's surface, it is easy to observe the moon. As Earth rotates on its axis each day, the moon appears to rise in the east and set in the west, just as the sun does. However, sometimes the moon is visible during the day, and sometimes it is visible during the night. Moonrise and moonset times shift every day. The apparent shape of the moon in the sky also changes from day to day in a cycle known as the moon phases. The moon's changing appearance results from the relative positions and motions of the moon, the sun, and Earth. Because the moon does not produce its own light, it is only visible when sunlight reflects off its surface. Although half of the moon is always illuminated or lit by the sun, the amount that is visible to a person on Earth varies depending on the position of the moon in its orbit. Remember that half of the moon is always lit by the sun. For example, during the phase of a new moon, the moon is located between the Earth and the sun. The illuminated half of the moon is facing the sun, away from the Earth, and 0% of the moon's Earth-facing side appears lit. As the moon continues in its orbit over the days following a new moon, more of the sunlight side becomes visible. At first, the moon looks like a thin crescent. However, the visible portion continuously grows larger as more and more of the sunlit side becomes visible. When the moon's apparent shape is increasing, it is called waxing. The waxing crescent phase lasts for about 1 week between the new moon and the first quarter moon. The first quarter phase occurs when the moon is 1/4 of the way through its orbit. When half of the sunlit side is visible, or 50% of the Earth-facing side appears lit. When the illuminated half of the moon facing Earth is more than 50% visible, it is a gibbous moon. The waxing gibbous phase lasts for about 1 week after the first quarter phase. About 2 weeks after new moon, the moon is on the opposite side of the Earth from the sun, and the entire illuminated side is visible, the full moon phase. The cycle continues through the waning phases. When the moon's apparent shape becomes thinner as the moon continues in its orbit. The angle between the sun, Earth, and the moon determines the moon's phase as well as its rise and set times. For example, during a new moon, when the moon is on the same side of Earth as the sun, the moon rises and sets with the sun. In contrast, the full moon rises as the sun sets and sets as the sun rises.